And talking about zero-sum games, there was another one last week. A virtual summit between China and the European Union. Frankly, it skipped below our radar. Most people did not even realize that this summit happened. And now we know why, because it was a complete waste of time, to put it simply. Nothing remotely positive came out of it. And I know this is a harsh assessment, but wait till you hear what Europe's top diplomats said about the very same summit. This was not exactly a dialogue, he said, maybe a dialogue of the deaf. China wanted to set aside our differences on Ukraine. They did not want to talk about human rights and other stuff. Harsh words there. But here's a question for the European Union. What else did you expect? This is day 42 of Russia's invasion. China still calls it a special military operation, not an invasion. They continue to sidestep Western sanctions. Expecting anything else is wishful thinking. Nonetheless, the EU tried.
Of course, we expect China, as a member of the Security Council of the United Nations, to take its responsibilities. There are few members only, and they have a vast responsibility. And China has an influence on Russia. And therefore, we expect China to take its responsibility to end this war and to come back, that Russia comes back to a peaceful negotiations solution.
Like I said, wishful thinking. China was never going to discuss Ukraine. They wanted just two things: more investments from Europe and more access to European markets. On sanctions, there was no commitment.
China is not a related party under the crisis of Ukraine, and we don't think our normal trade with any other country should be affected. Even Europe have been conducting your normal business with Russians. You haven't stopped all your trade with Russians. And so our normal trade with Moscow should not be affected, because the employment and the living standards of China are also dependent on the normal trade with all the countries, including Russia.
He's right about one thing. Lectures and sanctions are a bit rich coming from Europe. They continue to buy Russian gas worth billions of dollars. Having said that, this summit is a wake-up call for both China and the European Union. For China, it's a sneak peek into the future. Beijing wants to dehyphenate Ukraine and everything else. It wants to support Russia. Even Putin, help Putin, in fact, circumvent sanctions. And at the same time, keep doing business as usual. That's what they wanted from this summit too. Keep Ukraine aside and discuss trade. This time at least, Europe did not agree. But Brussels did make a mistake. They were planning to discuss human rights with China to win China over to the Western camp. This shows how naive they are. You cannot discuss rights with China. You need actions. Unfortunately, Europe has failed to do that. Take any issue, the war in Ukraine or the unofficial blockade on Lithuania, Europe's response has been inadequate, and this statement by the EU president is proof of that.
We discussed that, and also the fact that no European citizen would understand any support to Russia's ability to wage war. Moreover, it would lead to a major reputational damage for China here in Europe.
Reputational damage. Well, that is Europe's big threat. China has jailed thousands of Uyghurs in labor camps. They're crushing democracy in Hong Kong. They're threatening sovereign nations in the South China Sea. Do you think reputation is China's big concern? I know we said nothing positive came out from this summit, but scratch that. Something positive did come out. The gulf between the West and China, it has been revealed. The West is still holding a candle for Beijing, hoping they will join the campaign against Russia. So in reality, this was not a dialogue of the deaf. This was a dialogue of the willfully ignorant. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.